So here with Academy coach Stuart English. You've recently been involved with the work that the Academy's been doing with Gulu United. Can you explain how that sort of came around?
Yes, a guy called Adrian Bradbury, who knows Ozzy from his time at Watford and also knows Matthew Benham. Matthew's invested in the charity that Adrian has set up. Initially Adrian was helping out with some initiatives in Gulu in Uganda when the wars were going on and there was lots and lots of troubles. And this has now spread on to him trying to help out with the football side in terms of educating the coaches and giving the kids opportunities really. So Ozzy just gave me sat me down and said would I be interested to go out there, and that was pretty much all I knew initially. And then I went out there obviously to go and coach and work with the players, but also to try and give the coaches a little bit of detail in terms of how we work in England and how the coaching is, and also kind of a little bit more structure to how they do things as well.
So you mentioned obviously about going out to Uganda. What was sort of involved in that trip?
The main thing was a summer training program for the kids and for the coaches. So initially, before I went, I set a weekly training program for the players and for the staff to follow, with sessions, kind of morning sessions, afternoon sessions, evening sessions, and then they filled it in with some theory and some mentorship sessions out there. Then I went out there the second week with Adrian, and we did some in-service training with the coaches, and I went through lots of different sessions that they could use and tweak and put on with the players. And then I was involved, myself and Adrian were both involved in coaching the sessions, working with the coaches, and also meeting with the officials of Gulu to talk about how we could try and move things forward and give them more, and then for them to get more out of it as well.
And how do you find it? How do you think it went?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Very different to the experience I have here with the Academy. For example, the players, when they would turn up, they didn't have any trainers, any football boots, any shin pads, any socks. Everything was barefoot. Their feet, you'll see some of the pictures, but their feet are kind of massive because they're just used to just running around and doing everything with them. And they just got on with it. Some of them did have trainers and boots, and they'd play with players who didn't have any boots at all. The kids were just happy to have a football and just buzzing to be playing football and to be coached, because I don't think they've ever been coached in their whole life. So yeah, the experience was unbelievable for me.
I mean, you mentioned obviously about the coaching coming from what is a well-respected academy here in England. I mean, is that something that Gulu really got out of it, the level of coaching that you and Adrian could take over?
Yeah, I think the main thing was just to give them ideas and to give them a little bit of structure. The coaches were so keen, they were so enthusiastic, but they'd never really been on any courses ever, never had the opportunity to go on any courses, and never really been taught. It's just from when they've played, what they learned there. So it was a case of just giving them a little bit of guidance from the courses that I've been on here and from how we work in the academy. And they seem to really enjoy it, and moving forward the plan is just to create links whereby they can email me questions, I can send them literature, and hopefully they can improve their knowledge and improve their sessions, and the standard of coaching and players will improve as well.
And for the club ourselves, I mean, there can't be very many clubs out looking for players in Uganda or working in Uganda, so it must be a sort of an untapped mine of players out there. Definitely
in the part of Uganda we were in, Gulu, it was a 6-7 hour drive from the airport, so not many people go that far into Uganda. So there was certainly nothing else going on there, and I think generally Africa's quite an untapped market in terms of they don't have much, so you need to go there and give them a lot. So initially, as I say, is to try and help them, and then in the long term it'll be obviously to try and potentially, if there's players with potential, bringing them over, which is something we're going to look to try and do within the next couple of months, with one that was particularly outstanding on the camp.
You mentioned about this one player at the camp. I understand there's a campaign to get air miles to actually pay for his flight to come over for a training period here in Brentford?
Yeah, Adrian works tirelessly. He has a full-time job, but he works tirelessly in terms of trying to get funding from businesses and from individuals to run the camp initially, and the next main project is to try and bring a coach, so that he can come and see how we work and also get involved with what we do here at Brentford, but also a player who did really well on the camp, just to see the level that is out there compared to the level we have here, and to see if he's good enough to maybe going forwards to come and do something here at Brentford, or if the gap's still a bit too much and we need to carry on working for a few more years until we get to the level. So Adrian is looking for people to invest and give air miles so that they can kind of give the player and the coach this opportunity to come over to Brentford for a week, 2 weeks to get involved.
I mean, from what you've been saying here, this very much sounds like it's a long-term project.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we're trying to invest in. We've obviously all got our full-time jobs here, as has Adrian, but it's something that we want to give as much as we possibly can. So we took kit out this time, so there's kids out in Uganda running around with Brentford kits, which is spreading the name of Brentford, which is amazing. All the kids now support Brentford, which is great, even though they only before kind of supported Man United or Liverpool. Boots, we're looking to have donations for football boots, shin pads, things like that, which we can send out there to give the kids an opportunity, because incidentally the boy that potentially might come over, he borrowed someone's boots for one of the games and put them on, but because he wasn't used to wearing boots, after about 10 minutes he took them off and actually carried on playing barefoot, because it was just so strange for him to be playing with boots. So it's something that we want to give them as much as possible, boots and shin pads, and so then when they do come over, hopefully it's not a major shock for them.
I mean, there's obviously a lot of Brentford fans, a lot of people over here that wouldn't know much about sort of Ugandan football as it is. Sort of, how would you sort of describe the level of the players and sort of the enthusiasm for the game over there?
The enthusiasm's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. As I say, they don't have anything, but they're so all the coaches, the players, they were so happy. They were welcoming for me and for Adrian, and they just wanted to play football. They wanted to learn, they wanted to develop, and I think it was really refreshing for me. Sometimes the players here get given a lot, and then they don't necessarily always show as much hunger, whereas out there the kids would give anything to have the opportunity that the kids have here, and somehow we need to get that across to our players, that they do have a lot and they have a great opportunity here. So, but in terms of the standard, I was very impressed. It was the first time they've tried to group elite players together, that schools and PE teachers had sent forwards, and the level was very good. The age groups were very big, but the level was good. There were players with good technique, athletic, great endurance, great speed, and an unbelievable desire, which obviously is displayed when playing barefoot as well.
You mentioned about sometimes perhaps players in England take for granted what they have. I mean, when this player comes over, is it something you're maybe looking at to get him to talk to the current youth team and lowers and say what they've actually got here? Yeah, definitely. It's hard because obviously they speak English, but not unbelievably well. So it might be him, or it might just be some kind of video clips or some pictures in a presentation that we try and show the coaches and the players, just to try, and even the parents, and just to try and educate them that look at these players, they haven't got anything but they're so happy and hungry. How can we get you guys the same? It's hard because it's a culture thing and it's their lives, but it's something definitely that we're trying to look into. And you mentioned obviously about the future of the partnership. What do you see in the partnership moving forward?
There was lots of meetings when we were out there with Gulu United officials and Adrian and myself. Lots of really good ideas. Adrian's now kind of sitting down, hoping to gain more funding, so then he can really think about where he tries to take it. One option might be to try and employ a kind of coach out there who's doing regular coaching on a day-to-day basis. Another might be to do more regular training camps, kind of 3 or 4 a year. obviously the main idea at the moment is to bring a player and a coach over to try and educate them, and then send them back to educate the others. So at the moment the main thing is education, but in the long term, hopefully more kit, more equipment, and also to try and educate. It's just a case of A, getting more funding, and B, seeing kind of where Adrian can take it from there.